Hey everybody, this is Bill Scheid from the TTM Djembe Academy in Winston-Salem. On this video, I want to talk a little bit about those moments in class when you're just not getting it. You know, maybe you're hearing the time in the wrong place and you know you're hearing the time in the wrong place and you just can't flip it over in your head, or you understand how the technique is supposed to go but you know that your hands are just not going to be able to do it and you just can't get it in that moment. In our village, we call these woodshed moments because you basically have to take it home and go to the woodshed and just work it out. I have seen students go through all kinds of suffering and psychological trauma on this one, so I thought I would give you my perspective, my point of view on this. Of course, this is just one way to look at it. There's 7 billion different perspectives you could have on this, so I'll share with you mine. First and foremost, my advice is if you get in that situation in class, relax, have a sense of humor with yourself. You know, I've seen a lot of students, they get in that kind of woodshed moment and then they just panic and you can just see it in their mind. Like, oh my God, everybody gets it except for me and I'm a deficient human being and nobody loves me. So first of all, relax, have a sense of humor with yourself, take a deep breath. It is class. You are there as a student, right? If you already knew it, you wouldn't be there as a student because you wouldn't need to learn it. So first things first, you know, it's a learning environment, take it easy, take a breath. The other thing that I want to say about that is keep trying. You know, let your hands keep working it out, keep working it out, keep working it out. You might actually surprise yourself. What you thought you couldn't get, you might actually be able to get pretty quickly, just right there on the spot, and surprise yourself. The other thing that I want to say about that is if you get a woodshed moment, you could actually look at it instead of a bad thing as a great thing. Why? Well, I mean, it's kind of like a buy one workshop, get, you know, whatever, 5 years worth of material to practice for free. You go home and you got to work that stuff, work that stuff, work that stuff, but that's great because it's a huge opportunity for development. So you could just reframe the whole thing and say, hey, this is great. Wow, I've got some really good stuff to work on when I get home. And you never know what that's gonna open up for you. You could just have a huge breakthrough. And I'll give you an example of that. I remember there was a technique I learned with Mamadi Keita in Los Angeles in 2004. It took me to 2009 to get that technique, but once I got it, it opened up a whole new area of soloing. For those of you guys who know Mamadi Keita's technique for Le Goulet, that fourth technique where you're playing ternary on top of binary, I knew in class I totally didn't have it. I knew at that point it was way beyond my level of development and there was no way I was going to get it in class. So it was even a couple years after I got home, I said, man, I'm just not even gonna touch this thing. A couple years later, I said, oh, maybe I've got enough experience. Now I could, you know, get this out and crack it and practice it. And when I did, it opened a huge door. And that one technique for me was what really launched my ability to play ternary on top of binary. You know, maybe that's not the technique that does it for you, but you never ever know what kind of breakthrough you're gonna have. So the point there is, you know, when you get in a woodshed moment, it's actually to your benefit. And I'll tell you this, in my experience, the difference between less experienced students and more experienced students is when less experienced students get in that situation, you can tell they get real heavy and serious and kind of like traumatized by it. But the more experienced students, they laugh, they have a good time, they appreciate the sense of humor, and they know that they're gonna get something really valuable out of that experience. And you know, it takes a while to develop that. In the beginning, you know, if you're just starting off on djembe, you don't know, oh man, does this mean I'm gonna be a terrible djembe student and I can't learn this, etc., etc. But after you've got some experience, you just realize, oh, well, no matter how much I know, there's always gonna be more that I don't know, and you just relax into the process. And don't let your mind fool you. I wanna say this, don't let your mind fool you. No matter how much there is to know, and no matter how much you know already, this process with the djembe is a journey. It's not a destination. Mamadi Keita has been playing the djembe now for more than 60 years. And he says, this is a deep process. There is no end. So, you know, relax, enjoy it. Above all, the djembe is an instrument for joy. It is not an instrument for frustration and psychological trauma. So relax, have a great time, enjoy the learning process. For more information on how you can study with Mamadi Keita directly or with the certified TTM teacher, check us out online, www.ttmda.com. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.